Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. As the Liberals unveil plans to lift numeracy results for primary school students, there's renewed concern about children kept in the state's watch houses. New documents released under RTI show staff fear locking young people up is seriously impacting their welfare.
It was back to school for the Liberals, getting a quick lesson from the students. Though the party believes it has an A-grade formula to lift dwindling maths results in government primary schools.
Today's announcement is ensuring that we also have 1 hour of mandated numeracy.
Starting from 2027, claiming it's seen improvements to literacy outcomes.
We've rolled this out over the last 2 years. We are now starting to see some real changes and a real uplift in what our little ones are being able to achieve.
But for young people who fall through the cracks, there's been a renewed focus on children in the state's watch houses after unredacted RTI documents revealed significant staff concerns for their welfare.
How many times do we have to be told that locking up kids in adult prisons is not appropriate in the 21st century?
We have already modified a facility in southern Tasmania to support trauma-informed practice.
Health once again in Labor's sights, the party committing to recruit nurse practitioners into 18 regional hospitals it says are underused, costing $3.6 million.
We have been listening to people in regional locations like this one in Scottsdale who are telling us that it is hard to receive the medical treatment that they need in their communities.
These are services that Tasmanians will need to stay healthy for longer to keep them out of hospitals.
While independent Christy Johnston is urging the next government to replace Luna, a mobile breast screening bus, which has since broken down and its successor stuck in limbo.
This is an important way of saving Tasmanian women's lives and it must be done.
As election campaigning rolls on. Anthony Dodd, 7 Tasmania News.
Labor is pledging $25 million to help bail out Nearstar's troubled Lutana zinc smelter. The Prime Minister confirmed a solution between the federal, Tasmanian and South Australian governments is imminent as the company struggles to keep its Hobart and Port Pirie factories afloat.
That money will be used for the safe maintenance and ongoing operations of the site in the short to medium term, whilst we make sure there's a long-term future for the site.
Jeremy Rockcliffe says the Liberals will also chip in to support the smelter, but didn't outline an amount, accusing his opponent of jumping the gun before the full support package is finalised. Major industrial Nearstar might be being promised a financial lifeline, but another says it's in crisis. The Boyer paper mill near New Norfolk claims Hydro Tasmania is threatening its chances of going green by not providing electricity supply.
No power could mean no paper. Electricity supply is plaguing Australia's last remaining paper mill. Boyer's owner claiming Hydro Tasmania has knocked back pleas for more power at his mill.
Disappointed to date. Those negotiations have been now going on over 3 years. At this point, we still have no positive direction.
A setback as he tries to go green, swapping coal burners for electric to reduce carbon emissions.
So we can remove ourselves from burning 88,000 tonne of coal a year.
The Manufacturing Workers Union accusing Hydro Tasmania of not abiding by its own charter.
The actions of Hydro Tasmania, by not ensuring cheap Tasmanian prices for the Boyer mill, exposes Hydro Tasmania as working against the Tasmanian government, as working against Tasmanian jobs, working against Tasmanian industry.
The energy provider refuting these claims, saying in a statement, Hydro Tasmania can source the additional energy required to supply Boyer Mill's request for more power, and we have been in discussions around a price.
Now we cannot give away power to major industrials below the cost of production because Tasmanian families pay for that.
Without available power, the mill could be forced to import electricity from the mainland at a higher cost, with fears growing the facility's sustainability is at risk without competitive pricing.
There needs to be an appreciation from government and from its government businesses that they need to support these major industrials not put them under more pressure with price rises.
The Boyer Mill is the state's fourth largest carbon emitter, producing around 172,000 tonnes of CO2 each year. The switch to electric could help the plant slash emissions by around 95%.
It's like taking 3/4 of the cars off the roads in Tasmania.
With hopes to also future-proof the 85-year-old facility. Rebecca Glenorchy, 7 Tasmanian News.
With Tasmania's public housing list continuing to blow out, the Greens are calling for an extra 200 social and affordable dwellings to be built per year. The party says it will cost $100 million a year over the next few years to roll out.
We hear from community service organisations that they are struggling to meet the increased need from Tasmanians. Tasmanians are doing it tough in the cost of living crisis.
More than 5,000 people are waiting for a place to call home on the public housing register. Recently plagued by trouble on its streets, Glenorchy is now seeing a significant turnaround. Police credit a dedicated task force launched in May, targeting youth crime and boosting community safety.
In an area plagued by a bad reputation, police have some good news for those living in Glenorchy.
What we are seeing is a reduction across all crime figures within the Glenorchy division, which is positive.
Since its launch 8 weeks ago, Task Force Respect has been tackling crime head-on, targeting antisocial behaviour and recovering stolen property.
Our calls have reduced by about 40%.
The total number of offences dropped by more than 700 over the last financial year, a fall of more than 16%, while youth offences fell by a fifth.
The visible policing is making a real difference in making the community feel safe and deterring offenders.
Police say community members and local businesses have reported a reduction in antisocial behaviour and retail crime, but the job of the task force is far from over.
We're not going to take our foot off the pedal.
It's now expanding its focus, tracking not just the offenders, but where the stolen goods are ending up, while also engaging and building relationships with our young people.
Some youth that may have been engaging in behaviours that were bordering on illegal type behaviours, antisocial behaviours, have really been able to turn themselves around.
And while the numbers are encouraging, council leaders are keen to reassure residents.
Nobody wants their city to sound like, it's an awful place to be or make them feel unsafe, but it's really far from the truth. It's a perception.
Lily Thompson, 7 Tasmanian News.
It's not every day a new species is found, nor is it when one's named after you, but that's exactly the case for one Tasmanian. Almost a decade since making a creepy, crawly find, he's been recognised, and remarkably, his colleague kept the honour under wraps for years.
Meet our very own Spider-Man, Simon Fern, now the namesake of this funnel web.
Hadronychy Simon Ferni.
Making the discovery by chance, unearthing it while looking for bugs in Wilbur in 2016, his spidey senses knew it wasn't any old funnel web.
Structures that hold the fangs on the front of the spider, they were considerably longer.
Sceptical at first, resident spider expert John quickly believed him.
It didn't take him long to convince me that it was different.
But keeping the naming rights in a web of lies for years.
I just made up things to keep putting him off.
And he just lied on my face. It often takes a while, but the good thing is I'm still alive. So, I got to enjoy it.
Even though their new friend might sound scary, we're told not to fear. Unlike the infamous Sydney funnel web, it's not likely to kill you.
There's no record of any funnel webs killing anyone in Tasmania.
If you don't want to take your chances, there's still one place left in the world with no spiders at all, but you'll need to pack your things and head to Antarctica.
None there that anyone's discovered yet, so I think you're safe.
But closer to home, it's a different story. On average, a new species is found once a week, meaning more naming rights are yours to take.
Anyone can get a spider named after them. Just go out in your backyard and have a look around.
Victoria Riso, 7 Tasmanian News.
Tasmanians will soon have the opportunity in person to hear Neil Danaher's incredible story of resilience in his battle against motor neurone disease. The AFL great and founder of Fight MND will headline a Clifford Craig event along with his daughter Beck and a senior neurologist in Launceston on July 18.
He's an incredible man and inspirational, and we've had some connections with our local MND community as well, and many of those people and those families are really looking forward to joining us.
Tickets are being snapped up quickly and are only on sale until Friday.
Maintaining a strong game after half-time will be a priority for the Lauderdale women when they run out against Kingborough on Saturday. Momentum is something the Tigers have had no trouble with 3 wins on the trot, but they're not getting carried away.
We go into every game with the mindset that we're not going to just win or just, you never know what the other team's going to bring.
While the Bombers men won't let injuries to key players dampen attitudes when they take on the Tigers.
And we back in what we've been practicing at training, and it's just that next man up kind of mentality that we have.
The last time the two sides met back in round 5, Lauderdale won by 120 points. Well, it's Train Like a Tiger Week in Cricket Tasmania's Pathway program, where our young athletes receive pro-level training alongside the state's finest. From fitness tests to cooking classes, these young players are getting a real taste of life as a professional.
From near and far, Cricket Tasmania's Pathway programs are casting a wide net to capture the state's most exciting up-and-coming talent.
Tomorrow morning they've got a cooking session where they learn how to make breakfast, so when they go to national carnivals they're not skipping breakfast and they're eating the right things. They've also got a psychology session, they do some gym work, they do a 2K time trial.
This group of eager young cricketers are learning what it takes to train like professionals.
To train alongside someone like Nathan Ellis, who's the Hurricanes captain, and get feedback from them is a great opportunity for them.
For 18-year-old Thomas Dwyer, it's a step closer to his ultimate dream.
I think if I just train as hard as I can and hopefully one day get a contract, I think that's definitely the aim for every young boy here.
And if history is anything to go by, Thomas's name is worth remembering. Stars like Bo Webster, Riley Meredith, Mitch Owen and Amy Smith all began their rise through these squads. Now a new wave of potential pros are stepping up to the crease.
I'd like to think in 2 or 3 years' time some of these boys will be, potentially making the debut for the Tigers or pulling the purple on.
Working on their aim.
A cooking session so that...
and shaping a bright future ahead for Tasmanian cricket. Lily Thompson, 7 Tasmanian News.
Riley Meredith pulled off a feat most fast bowlers could only dream of and picked up a unique souvenir in the process. Playing for Somerset in the UK's T20 Blast, the Hobart Quick delivered a sneering Yorker that cracked the leg stump in half from top to bottom.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He smashes the stumps. They're done.
Meredith took 2 from 22 and is the equal leading wicket taker of the tournament. And the Chargers women will try to ride the momentum from last week's win all the way over Bass Strait when they head to Victoria for 2 big matchups. But they're under no illusion it will be an easy weekend with several key players out with injury.
Which in some ways is exciting because it gives some of our younger players an opportunity that they haven't had yet.
We've had a motto that teams have to beat us, and we've lived by that the whole season, and we'll keep with that.
Both teams will face Frankston on Saturday and Diamond Valley on Sunday. Well, a big weekend on the road coming up, Kim.
It will be. Thank you, Vic. Kaya Wicks will join us after the break with the weather forecast. Good
good evening. Hobart and Launceston both 12 degrees today, 11 in Devonport and also Burnie. A high just 13 degrees recorded on King Island at Smithton, Lowhead and Friendly Beaches. 12 on Flinders and at St Helens, Ouse and Strawn. Grove 11 and 5 in Lyweni. High cloud is seen building over Tasmania today as a frontal cloud band approached the west coast, bringing 55 millimetres to the gauge at Fisher River. That frontal band also pushed over southeastern SA and Victoria. Tomorrow, a low pressure system and associated fronts will approach Tasmania, extending a cold front up the eastern seaboard. Northwest to southwesterly winds across all coastal waters at 20 to 30 knots. Southwesterly swells peaking to 4 metres. A strong wind warning has been issued for all coastal waters tomorrow across the state. A shower or two in the south, Hobart and Cygnet 12 and 11 the high in New Norfolk. Easing showers in Launceston and Devonport, 12 degrees. A few showers in Campbelltown, just 10 degrees there. Showers should back off in Burnie and Smithton with 12, showery in Strawn with 11 degrees. Some showers towards the east, 13 expected in St Helens and Swansea. A few showers also in Fingal with 10. Another morning inland frost on Friday, then showers about the west and Bass Strait Islands extending to the south throughout the afternoon, and snow will fall to 800 metres. Showers about the west and north on Saturday, but mainly fine elsewhere. And on Sunday, showers about the north and west increasing and extending statewide during the afternoon. More snowfall in store, but to around the 700 metre mark. Further across mainland Australia tomorrow. The high, of course, is in Darwin. Shorts and t-shirt weather there, just 31, just 8 in Canberra and a fine day in Perth with 18 degrees. Partly cloudy in Hobart, 7 degrees, showery across Launceston and also Devonport. It's definitely not shorts and t-shirt weather tomorrow, Kim.
No, it is not. Thank you, Kaya. That is all your news for now. We'll have news, sport and weather updates later. Thanks for joining us. Good night.